Yeah, yeah. That nigga be crispy. Yeah, hey. I'm shameless, so shameless. With my dogs on the block, it was dangerous. Take your girl out to eat and she's paying. I'm shameless, so shameless. I'ma go hit Tahoe up. Come bring the Tahoe truck, body bags on body bags. Come pick this garbage up. DJ mixing in the booth, he leave him traumatized up. I ain't got no time to waste. Let's get these commas up. I'm sitting in class, I can't even focus. Looking at teach, hoping that she don't notice. Titty sit right, got ass be poking. Sitting in the front, cause I gotta be the closest. I'm just waiting for the bell, let everybody leave. I passed with an A, but left her with a D.
Oh, I can't wait to watch that.
Okay, we are almost in.
Okay, I'm reloaded. Okay.
We're almost in. Are you trying to take me to homie court?
We did already.
Huh?
We already had a conversation on IG.
All right, cool.
He flamed me mercilessly on Instagram. All the women were like, I thought Skip had a point. It's like, get this nigga off. I was like, all right. Well,
Yo, y'all ready? You ready to go, Melly? I'm in. I'm locked in. Skip has finally, after begging for a month and a half for an appearance on one of the podcasts.
I was begging for an appearance on the podcast. That's how we started. That's what I asked for.
If you're in the Discord right now, in the Zoom, they were like, "Yo, please give him an appearance." He's crying. You were weeping on Instagram.
I was weeping on
couldn't
Instagram.
even. I didn't even feel right as a friend telling you no. I was like, "Damn, son, are you all right?"
You see how Tahoe like
That's crazy.
How
see
he
how
flipped
he does
this?
shit? You see?
That's crazy.
He does this shit to me weekly.
This man is really good at scripts. Cause I was like, we had a conversation.
That didn't happen?
I expressed myself like, yo, bro, I want to show up for you. And that was my qualm.
That's
You
what
were
you said.
laughing at me.
That's what
and
you
you
said.
were laughing at me being vulnerable.
You said
in front of everybody else. And like, damn, you're gonna do this in front of 80, like 100 people. You're not gonna care about looking like a loser. It's like, but you're my friend.
Wow.
I care about you.
Wow.
I don't care about these people. I want to talk to my OG. I felt terrible when I hung up. I was like, damn, I don't think this nigga like me. I was like, I was trying to be real. Like, this is how I feel.
I
Shame.
feel like Skip. I know. I feel like Skip has a thing about people looking at himself lower than other people see him.
Shame on you.
I feel like you devalue yourself on purpose. Do you do that for likes? Do you like?
I don't
Likes?
I don't
What's
do
your
that.
fucking problem?
Like
Wait,
it's the
asked
camera.
No,
as
wait.
if
I just want to. I
nobody-
don't want to see who he's going with.
You
this.
just said Tahoe and Dodge is here. I'm here. You just did this. And Dodge, and I just want to let you know.
Anybody
No.
that's looking at these clips,
Wait a
look at
minute.
the
I
stats.
just
Look
want to
at
let
the
you know
stats.
that
Look at
Dodge
your Shameless stats.
played
Look
it.
at how many people follow Tahoe. Look at how many people follow Dodge.
Don't nobody
That's
follow me.
influence. Wait, first of all, it's influence.
I'm
Influence
not
is
a-
reach.
I don't-
Influence is impressions. When I'm going by stats, Tahoe and Dodge. Skip. It wasn't like I'm not a lesser human. I'm talking about influence and impact and how many people visibly see you.
I don't know what the fuck you talking about.
So
Okay.
now, don't look blank now.
Now I'm tripping.
I am at the other side of the totem pole here. Okay,
What's the other side?
What are you talking
I don't.
about?
There's
I
no
don't
other
know
side.
nobody.
What
Don't
is
know
the other
nobody.
side? The
I
totem
don't-
pole goes up and down.
Can I
How are
say
you?
something?
What the
Who's
other
been
side?
on Foxhole and who hasn't been on Foxhole of this couch? Please raise your hand.
Nigga, we don't hire ourselves.
Right? The fuck?
Don't do this. Come on. You guys had the credentials in the back and to be on those platforms.
I do.
Oh my
Once.
goodness.
I thought it was a favor.
What are we talking about? Are we talking about how I see myself as lesser because you said on Instagram I was a loser? You said that. I didn't say that.
Spin. That was a good spin. I like the way you brought it home at the end.
Like, I'm confused.
Did I say you was a loser?
You did. You were going off. That's why I was shocked. And I had to keep my face because it hurt.
Yeah.
It hurt, but I had to
That's
keep it.
so mean.
I didn't say
Shame
you.
on you.
You
I
didn't
would
say
never
it?
say that.
Shame.
I'm gonna tell you right now. If he was
Shame.
acting like a loser, and I doubt if I said it.
Listen. He's,
But-
now he's on the line. And he say,
Melly, were you in the
Don't
live
listen.
that day when Skip was crying on the live?
I wasn't even crying.
Crying on the live is
I
wild.
wasn't
It was a
crying
couple days
on live.
ago.
This
Why is
crying
the
on
mic
the,
so far away from you? Do you know?
crying on the live
His
Son, the
verbiage is
nigga,
crazy.
it was embarrassing. Have you ever had a friend embarrass themselves?
on the internet.
See,
It's
that's
all the
exact. That's the exact phrase he was using, and he
It's
doesn't
embarrassing.
remember calling me a loser.
Now, why would you call Skip a loser?
I was embarrassing myself. I was
Let's
expressing
discuss why this happened. Then what happened, Skip?
the reason why you were having a nice IG live was like, this man hasn't responded to me on Discord. He hasn't responded to me on Twitter. He doesn't respond to my text. I was like, bro, he gave me the wrong date for the drinks and kinks. I asked a month in advance because he always would be telling, I want to be there. And he's like, this is the date.
You did.
This is the day. And you know, I be busy sometimes with comedy, but I always put like aside, like mentally, it's like, all right, I want to make sure I show for Tahoe for whichever platform.
Okay.
I asked in advance. You told me this. I was like, all right, cool, right? And it's not like about saving the date for me. It's like, bro, if I'm part of the team, why am I finding out last? I'm like, all right, cool. I had Thursday. He changed it Saturday. Fuck, it's for a wedding. But I had to find out like the other people that are not part of the. That was my
wanted
qualm.
me when I changed it to call you.
It's
and
not
say
about,
I changed it.
How do you tell the entire team information? You don't have like a group chat or whatever?
Respectfully, I don't know shit.
What are you talking
So nobody
about?
knew?
I be finding out on Instagram too.
So I don't have any qualms no more. I thought you had like a designated channel like everyone knows on this date.
Discord that you're in. That's when I told everybody what the date was. That you're in. Do you pay for that?
I do pay for it. No, first of all, I pay for all So Shameless. And I pay for
That's
Hard or
dope.
Soft.
Shout out to real friends. Dodge don't pay.
The fuck I'm gonna pay for? What I'm supposed to pay for?
Yo, he's spinning real good right now.
No, Dodge tells me that she just shows up places. She don't pay for shit. She like, fuck that. I'm just popping up.
That sounds like the Dodge MO.
Cause I put in enough
Sweat
time,
equity.
blood, sweat, and tears in these streets. I ain't paying for shit. If I gotta pay, I'm not going.
The nigga Skip was in the live going off.
I was going off.
Pulling emotional strings
Aw.
about not
wish I
feeling
was
feeling left out. I'm not answering him, and he feels just do
So
that
he
whole
was telling you all
spiel.
his feelings, and you called him a loser. You
Probably.
better not say shit to me again the next time
Wait,
you
wait,
in one of
wait,
your
wait,
feelings,
wait. Dodge,
and then you're like,
Dodge,
"Oh, you
Dodge,
don't respect.
Dodge,
This is why
Dodge,
black men don't
Dodge.
open up."
Listen,
The fuck?
listen how he said, I would never say that to increase a probably. I just want you to understand the
I know that he
incremental.
definitely called you.
I know
I
he
know
did
he
because
did.
I
I
was
did not
there.
call
I
you
know my
loser.
friend.
You think that's crazy?
It's
Nigga,
crazy.
you know how many times you have called me a liar on this podcast? You think that you
You
ain't
be
called
lying.
Skip a loser?
You be lying? Yeah, those are two different things.
Now
if
I'm
you're
a liar.
lying,
I'm a liar. You're a
Skip,
loser.
do you be
And
losing?
what are you?
It's a difference if you be lying. You call you a liar.
That's
Do you
crazy.
actually be losing?
In video games, yes. I hope not in life. All I'm saying is, Tahoe, whenever it's time for you to express something, we gotta listen to it. If I'm expressing something to my OG in a space, and most of those women I know them, and most of them were saying that I was cute. I don't care if I was expressing. They probably like me even more. Vulnerability, whatever. I don't care if I look
I'm
crazy.
telling you right now, they were calling you a loser. I was not the one.
I don't believe that because I saw the comments too. But you're still my OG, and I don't care how you feel. I care about us.
Nigga went back and
I
scrolled
don't
through
care
the
if we
comments.
having a conversation.
Did you go scroll through the comments after you got off the live?
No, I couldn't get back on.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to So Shameless podcast. So much has
place is
happened. This has
crazy.
been a very intense week on so many levels. Shout out to everybody that came out to Kingston Drinks, even the people from the So Shameless community. Whether it be out my co-host, my other co-host who DJ'd it, Trom.
Right.
Oh yeah, is he a co-host? What is he? Is he like? What is he here? What is he? It's a weird. It's an interesting relationship. Melly, what do you think? Next. Wherever Trom is, Trom is like, yeah, I'm going to Turks and Caicos. I notice everybody has something. Like Trom got a flight to Turks and Caicos. Melly got a job. Loon got a girlfriend.
Loon got a
Look out,
girlfriend.
who got what?
You know, Loon slapped something. You know, Loon smashed something. You got to go listen to the. Yeah, he broke his sabbatical for somebody.
Jesus Christ.
Wouldn't accept my phone call because he was on the phone with her. He sent me the voicemail. I was like, I'll call you back. She just called me. I was like, yo.
Oh, okay, friend.
So let me see. Trom got a flight. Melly got a job. Loon got a girlfriend. Toro got COVID. And Dodge got engaged? That's pretty good. That's pretty fucking good. Shout out to Toro. Hope you're all right. But what the fuck? Do you do that now? Do you do
what?
everything with your ring finger now? You be like trying to
No.
open doors and shit with your ring finger so that everybody sees when you walk in the bathroom. Like, hey, I'm engaged.
Like,
No,
here's
I
my
don't-
plate. Here's my door. Here's my car. Here's my daughter.
No, I don't.
Now,
I'm just sitting here minding my business, y'all. I don't know what the fuck.
she comes in to Kinks and Drinks as I'm struggling to figure out how to pull this whole event together. It was just a lot going on. I'm running around. She walks up to me, and she's like, boom. And she's looking at me with this finger, and I'm like, what, bitch? I'm like, what? Right? Melanie? And she's like, he did it or something. What was it? What were the words you used? You
Like,
remember?
I-
How do you tell people that you just got engaged? He did it this morning. You did something like that.
I don't-
You said I cried all day. She said I was crying all day or something like that. You said.
Don't ask me nothing that happened that day.
I remember
Oh,
Yeah,
what did
what
I
happened?
say, Mels?
because I'm just sitting there, literally in front, taking people in.
Yeah.
And she just comes in front of me and she just puts her hand in front of me. Like, she just puts her hand, like, down. So I'm just like, where is she? Like, well, actually, no, I was like, I was smiling. I was like, okay. It's just, like, look at her, like, hey.
Because I don't know what to say. Y'all know I'm mad awkward. Like, so I don't know
And
how to
she's
say nothing.
smiling, nigga, with
Yeah,
that silly
and so,
smile on her face.
Yo,
Like,
my cheeks were hurting I've never smiled this much. in
And then
my
she
life.
finally, she was like, she put, like, her hand, like, in my face.
I was
and
like-
I looked, and I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I just,
there's a ring.
I couldn't.
Oh,
What?
I can't. My
It
words
was
were not
wild.
working that day. It was a lot happening. There was so much going on.
Yeah, like I couldn't. I didn't have words. Like we just hugging
Nobody
and
had
it
words.
was
I saw Hope. I did this. We were just screaming and jumping.
Jumping.
like
Josh. I was not expecting to see you there that night. I don't know if you want to share why you
Yeah.
had told me that you weren't coming.
Uh-huh.
But obviously, this is a part of this entire story.
yeah. Whew. Feeling on the spot there, All right, so we all know, or if you're new, you don't, but most of us know, my mom passed away when I was 15. And being that I am technically an only child, especially from my mom's side, there have been 3 days out of every calendar year that have been really tough for me. But of those 3 days is 2 months, the month of May and the month of October. So my mom's birthday is October 29th. And my thing is, and Tahoe can attest to this for us being friends for so long, I never know how I'm going to feel when it comes close to that day, because I normally have my meltdowns anywhere between the 28th and the 30th. And it's like up in the air. Like I never know. Like I can never I can never sense it. Like I'll just have like these crying spats, falling in and out of depressions or whatever the case may be. So my 3 days are Mother's Day, the day my mother died, and my mother's birthday. Those have always been my 3 days. Since I've had Parker, Mother's Day has been definitely easier for me to deal with because I'm a mom now. So I have to, be there for my kid and show up for her. But Mother's Day is literally the week before or the week after, depending on how it falls on the calendar, of my mom's anniversary, which is also in May. So definitely the anniversary of the day she passed. So always up in the air in May, always up in the air in October.
Normally May is very tough for you. Has been historically.
Yeah. So this October actually has been really, really tough for me. Like I just been like fighting depression. Like I just was waking up certain days and just like not in a good space, but just like fighting through it, pushing through it constantly. So on the 29th was Kinks and Drinks. So I said to you, I was like, I don't know if I'm coming because I don't know how I'm gonna feel that day.
She said that to me a couple weeks beforehand.
And I don't like to make commitments to my friends because then I feel like once I tell my friend I'm gonna do something, I'm beholden to that. Even if my friend doesn't feel that way about me, but that's how I feel.
I hate making
like
plans.
For me. So I'm like, damn, I said I was gonna do it, so now I gotta get up and do it, and I don't feel like it.
That's how I feel about Trap tonight. I'm just like, man, no mouse is
So
expecting me, but-
at this point, I'm just like, I don't know. I'm like, if you see me, you see me. If you don't, you don't. Drew, Gunna, whatever y'all call him at this point, he was scheduled to work that night. So he was supposed to be at the firehouse. So I was gonna be home alone with Parker. It was supposed to just be me and her. And then I was just like, I don't know if I want Parker to be there because, again, I don't know what my mood is going to be. So we sent Parker to his mom's house. And that was it. I was supposed to spend the day alone, technically. And the night before we went out, we were here the night before. We went out. We went to a Halloween party, had a great time, went home. 6 o'clock in the morning, he got up like he normally does for work, and he left. And I was asleep, as this is our normal life. So I finally wake up, and I text him like I do every time, like, hey, good morning, babe, whatever. And he didn't respond. I'm like, bitch, fuck you then. Like, how you just not gonna respond?
How much time passed between when you text him and him not responding?
I think I called first and he didn't answer, and then I texted and he didn't respond. And I'm like, fuck it, whatever. So then we use Alexa a lot in my house. Like, Alexa she is the house assistant. She is that bitch. So he turns the bedroom lights purple, which is my favorite color, but it's also my mom's favorite color. So he turns the bedroom lights purple and he drops into Alexa and he says, go into the kitchen from Andrew. And I'm just like,
drops in. What do you mean?
You
so
just leave a recorded message for Alexa
yeah.
to share with her.
So he, like, you can either type a message and Alexa will say it in her voice, or he can literally drop in with his voice. So he did it with Alexa's voice. So it literally said, Daj, go in the kitchen from Andrew. And I'm like, all right. So I get up and I go in the kitchen and there is this box, a heart-shaped box with purple Forever roses in it. And there's a note attached. So basically in the note, it said something to the effect of, I took today off. You didn't know. I'm at my mom's house with Parker right now because his mom was supposed to be off of work to watch her, but she had to go to work that morning. He was like, I'll be home later. He was like, we're going to Tahoe's event. Put an outfit to the side for me. This is your first surprise. And I'm like, okay, cool. So now I'm looking at these roses.
This nigga, bro. Nah, fuck this nigga, bro.
My uncle said the same thing.
Nah,
he was
son.
like, nah, this nigga need
I was
to write
at
a
fuck
book.
that nigga from the purple light. I ain't gonna hold you. The nigga turn the light purple when you in there chilling. That's lit. Nah, fuck you, nigga.
So that happens. So I'm in the house chilling at this point. I'm still by myself. I pick out outfits for us. And I'm like, it's my mom's birthday. He bought the purple roses. Let's just wear purple tonight. So I pulled out a purple shirt and some shorts and a brown blazer. He has a lavender shirt. So I had a little matching outfits. And I'm like, all right, so we're going to go. And it's going to be lit tonight. And I'm happy, you know, my nigga's home. I don't have to be home by myself. And then, like, I just started bursting into fucking tears out of nowhere. And I'm literally making the bed and I'm crying because I'm sad because I'm thinking about my mother. But I'm also crying because I'm happy. I'm like, I'm not going to be by myself today. And it's like, got me purple roses and everything is awesome. But I miss my mommy. But everything's awesome. Like, just like, that's literally what I was going through.
Two sides of the same coin.
And I'm just like, bitch, pull it together. So he comes home. And it's just like a regular day. We just like chilling on the couch.
What time
we're
you get
drinking. He got home around, I want to say like 2:30-ish, 2:45. So we're just sitting in the house. We're drinking, cuddled up on the couch, watching movies, talking, joking, just having like a good day. And like the other surprise kind of like left my mind because it was just like a very normal, chill ass day. It was just like whatever.
That's how they get you.
Yo, that's how these niggas get you, son. So Kinks and Drinks started at 8, I believe.
7, 8, something like that.
So we started to get ready. I hit up Melly because I didn't want to hit you up because I'm like, he's probably doing too much. So I'm like,
Sure.
Melly, what time does it start and what's the address? And Melly sent it to me and I'm like, all right, babe, here's the information. We're going to go. And he's like, all right, so let's get dressed. So, you know, we get dressed together. We just sitting there talking, chilling. Everything is the most normal period of time. And then right before we're leaving, right before we were about to walk out, I forgot something in the living room. And he's just standing in the living room because he's always dressed before me. Like, come on, I'm me. So I take forever to do simple shit. So he's in the living room and he's like fiddling with the lights. And I'm just like, nigga, why is you turning on lights if we about to leave? And he's like, why you not minding your fucking business? And I said, true.
That's a gunner response.
I went about my motherfucking business. Like, all right, this nigga in here playing with lights, doing whatever it is that he's doing. Oh, before that, this is important that I didn't realize was important. I was doing something. I think I was like loading something in the dishwasher and I hit my nail and I almost broke it. And I'm like, fuck, babe. He was like, what did you do? And I'm like, I almost broke my nail. He said, stop touching shit. He said, don't touch anything. And I'm like ever? Say that because I never want to do anything anyway. So give me a reason. I'll sit my pretty ass down. Fuck you. He's like, learn how to use your feet or something. You break nails all the fucking time. And I'm like, so?
You missing all the context clues.
My dumb ass, because my brain is not, whatever.
Well, I missed the clues. What are we talking about?
So on Twitter, especially Black Twitter, when it comes to like engagements, you want to make sure that whenever you're giving your ring to your significant other that her nails are done because it's good for the photo ops. So the reason why he's getting upset is like, you motherfucker.
Yeah,
if
he
you
was
break
scared I
the
was gonna
nails,
break a
you're
nail that
messing
day.
up the entire aesthetic. That's why he's yelling at her. You cannot break it. He's saying it.
No, but he gets mad. You know, I break nails all the time and he's so disgusted with me. Like he'll just pick up my hand and just be like, ugh. And it just throw
Well, at least
my
it's good
shit.
with the consistent behavior, so it didn't seem abnormal.
Yeah, no, he was
This is good stuff.
done with my
This
shit.
is good stuff.
So
We could sell this shit.
now I'm finishing getting ready and he's standing like in front of me and he was like, so I have your last surprise. And I'm like, I'm looking around like this nigga, there's nothing in his hand but his phone. There's nothing different in my living room. Nothing has changed. And I'm looking around and I'm like, nigga, where? Like, and he said it's right there. So on the dining room table is like a hexagonal shaped box. It's a black box. And I'm like, okay, so what's in this? It's a big ass box too. Okay. I'm like, what's in this box? I open the box. The flaps come out. It's another box.
Ooh.
I open the box.
Box.
This
I
nigga's
open that.
gay.
It's
Another
box.
flaps
This
come out.
nigga's good.
It's another box. So I'm looking at him. I said, it's a box in a box in a box. Like, what are we
Oh,
doing?
he's genius. He's
So-
doing the cartoon thing.
I'm like standing this way. He's like off to the side this way. So he's not actually like in my
your
vision.
view.
Direction.
So when I finally take off, it's like 5 boxes. So when I finally get to the last box, there's like a pink velvet ring box. And he starts playing on Alexa International Players Anthem. And I turn around and he's on one knee. And
Yep.
I'm like,
He did
today?
Today.
I'm like, today, like of
Today.
all days, you're gonna do this like right now, like today. Like my mom's birthday, like today. And he was like, yeah, today. He was like, there is no other day. He said, there are no more sad days. And I was like,
That shit
Bar.
hurt. Hold on.
A bar. Oh my God. He barred you up. He
Ooh,
said
that shit
there
hurt just now.
There is
Ooh.
no more sad.
he said no more sad days. And he gave me the ring. And I'm just like,
Retweet us right now on Twitter if you're crying. Woo! Holy shit.
so I was just like, what the fuck? Like, I just could not. I was laughing. Like, I was fucking cackling. And I'm just like, yo, babe, this is crazy. And then I look at the ring. And bitch.
And bitch.
First of all, my hand was shaking for hours, and I was just like, I was going through all these different emotions or whatever. But I think the part that's the most important is this is my dream ring.
That's the ring. The pear
This
shape.
is the ring. Like, niggas didn't take no type of like creative
walk arounds.
like, no,
work
like
around.
niggas didn't like, yo, let me add a dab of this or that. Like, it's the exact
How did he know?
ring, because we've discussed it. We've discussed marriage. We've discussed getting engaged. We've discussed the timeline. I in my heart, I knew it was gonna happen this year, but I didn't think, my brain didn't compute my mother's birthday. I'm like, maybe like Christmas, New Year's, a holiday. But then we've also discussed that he's like, I'm not cliche. Like, he was like, I'll never propose on a holiday. So I'm like, maybe it'll just be like a random ass Wednesday. But I never thought like that emotion of my mom's birthday and the significance of that day for me, and how important 1029, that's my angel numbers. Like, those are the numbers that I see all the time. Like, I have it in my necklace. Well, not this one, but I have it in the necklace that I wear all the time. Like, my daughter was born in 2019, which is 1029 in a different order. Like, those numbers are so important to me, and he
So
just
it's not
doubled
829,
down.
actually.
I have a lot of important days. Thank you.
Just y'all here with me?
But 1029,
It's not 820. All right.
and it's 828. But yeah, 1029 has just been so important to me for the last, well, my whole life, because I've always celebrated my mom's birthday. I've always loved my mom. Like, her birthday was always like a big thing. So yeah. And then I was just like, but baby, walking out the door, I gotta call my dad. And then it was just, we made a lot of phone calls on the way to Brooklyn. You know, I called, I hit the group chat.
You had a lot of calls.
I had to call my dad. We called his mom and his sister. We called his dad and my aunt. And like, we made so many phone calls on the way to the event. And yeah, and I was engaged now. So that's it.
That's big. That's huge.
He's so fucking fire.
I actually think he's a piece of shit. He did not ask for my permission.
Your permission? First
To
of all,
wed
if he
you.
asked, would you have said no?
No.
So
but
what was the point of
There's
asking?
a conversation that should have been had.
Aw.
You don't just marry my friend. The fuck is wrong with you? That's mad
So I just want
disrespectful.
to ask, so you have a grievance? Are you going to have a heart-to-heart with Gunna and not be called a loser to your face in front of people while you try to be very vulnerable about your feelings about being, you know?
This a run-on sentence, nigga? Just run-on emotional guilt trip?
Yo, this is
Absolutely.
crazy.
No, I told him thank you for getting her out of Brooklyn. And just, like, I've been to one wedding in my life, I believe. Maybe two. Maybe, you know. Yeah, my friend, niggas don't get married. Niggas don't get
It's
married.
nasty with them.
Niggas just be with the person, have kids and shit. I think kids, if you say with your baby mother, that's basically a hood marriage.
Yeah.
That's it. Y'all together.
It's very hood.
So, you know, that's a great example, especially of love. You know what I mean? And just, I use that word now a lot, intentionality. Like, you know, when you have intent for somebody and you show intent, you know. I think the first night I was out with Tanae, I said, I have good intentions for you. It was a vet. That was the first night we was out. She had a big ass too, so that.
Yeah, we know.
She turned around. I was like, oh yeah, I could be with that. But yeah, I think when you have good intentions for somebody, you just treat them differently. You just handle them differently. You just, and this is a great example of that. So I'm happy for you.
I just think the time is amazing. Because it's like I'm in New Orleans because I'm seeing my best friend get married literally the next day. So I see your news, and I'm in New Orleans feeling emotional on Bourbon Street just drinking. And I'm like sad that I can't clone myself to be in two places. And I'm very happy that you're happy. Because I feel like I've known you for a couple years, not as like as strong as like your relationship with Tahoe and everyone else, but it's like,
See, he's doing it again.
Just be quiet and let the man
he's
speak.
doing it. He's doing it. It's a subtle. I said subtle too. I got it. But
you're using the right word, but I'm actually just giving context and vulnerability to like, I'm not trying to dismiss my bond with Dodge. I'm just giving context to like, just because of the short time of me being friends.
Don't
with
pay
her.
me no mind. It feels awkward when people pay me mind. Just
It's
keep
too late.
going.
You the star, bro. Like,
See,
all right,
see,
yo, you don't keep doing it. But look, back to you. Like,
she's a star.
I've seen you have to deal with like trifling situations. Sometimes you just have like an energy of like, it still is fuck these niggas. But
It's
now
always
it's
fuck these
like
niggas.
fuck these niggas. But this nigga's cool, and
This
I feel
nigga
like
fire. This
And-
nigga fire. If y'all all was more like this niggas, y'all nigga would be fired too.
we don't talk enough. So I'm like little bro, but you know I'm
Yeah.
a decent motherfucker. But
Yeah.
when I look at Gunna, I'm really happy with how intentional he is with everything, and like that intentionality, like that weekend of me being in New Orleans, even though I wasn't with y'all, it was like. I came back and it's like I don't want to talk to women that I don't see long term. Like when I get to see like my friend I've known half my life get married, and you like you've known Gunner for like 2-3 years, right? And it's like a lot of times people just fuck around. I'm not trying to fuck around no more. Like I need to like be more mindful of who I'm talking to and like where am I building it from? Because now
Where'd you get that? Did that happen at the wedding?
that weekend because of her stuff and seeing him and like everything it took for us to get there, like just like. Well, it's past now, so he's like he packed his lovely suit and he's like, yo, bro, I don't have a white tie. And he's like, fuck you mean you don't have your white tie? I think I left it at home. This is the day of the wedding. This is Sunday. Like, we have 2 hours. It's like, yo, bro, stop panicking. I'm one of your best men. We got one of them doing this. I'm going to go get the fucking suit, right? I mean, the white tie. So I went, and there's only, like, New Orleans is a small city. I had to go to this mall that was, like, a mile away. So I was, like, speed walking because we had to get ready and dressed and stuff like that. But, like, when you have a good group of friends around you, good family, like you don't have to stress about things. Like that weekend just had me feeling like I would not do that for very much anybody else except these couple of people. I would go out of my way to make sure that they have a beautiful day. And like when you're in that space of like, I normally seen family members much older than me being like weddings, and I don't resonate with that. It's just old people. Like you don't see it, but when you see people out the mud, it's like, like seeing you and stuff like that, like makes me believe I can do it, and not in a competitive way. It's just. There's nothing more like pure than seeing two like people have children together or people being in love together and just saying it to the world like I'm in love with this person.
I think weddings do that for the community at the wedding. Most times you go to a wedding and you think, what is my life about? Like it just does that to you just because of the step that these people are making. You're not only happy for them, but you start thinking about yourself, like what am I doing? Bro. You know what I mean? Like I'm just gonna go get some head tonight. Like what is this? Or I could fuck that bride of honor, the maid of honor, right there. She's hot.
No,
you ever tried it? You never tried to. You have your whole people set out already?
I have an outline. I think.
You think so? You're gonna have to make some people mad.
A lot of people are gonna be mad.
That's fair.
And that's fine because y'all know how I like my sister. When I called my sister and she called me back, she literally said, and I think this is almost verbatim, she was like, when you're ready to plan a wedding, let me know because I have to help you because you tacky as hell.
You know what's funny?
I'm like,
because
you know I don't believe in feeding adults, so
that's a wild thing.
I don't believe in feeding niggas. I'm sorry. I don't believe in feed, but I'm not gonna be tacky like that. Like I'm not gonna just be like, oh, starve, bitch. But it's like when you think about a wedding, and I've said this so many times on this show, like there's not a lot of people I like enough to pay you to come celebrate with me. Like I literally have to pay for you to come be here. I don't even like a lot of y'all niggas like that. No bullshit. I don't speak to enough people, but I know that there are so many people that are going to want to be there and like fellowship and celebration or whatever. And we going to see how I feel. And
if you get turned down to be like, if you wanted to be one of the maid of honors and you thought that you deserve it, do you still go to the wedding?
If you're a real friend, you should.
So you just sit there mad?
I think that I have so many
jealous?
friends that I feel like even having like a real bridal party would be disastrous.
Yeah, because you have to get the right combination. Because I've learned that from being a wedding party. I had so many notes. I was like, you got to pick the right people. It's like literally
crazy.
You're building a wedding team. You're literally building a wedding team to work together to plan events for the bachelor, bachelorette.
Gotta suck when two of the maid of honors don't get along, and
Yo.
now they're beefing with each other the whole
Yes.
time.
And not even that, but I also, for me, I have to take into effect that Andrew is not super social like me. So I can't have 20 bridesmaids and he has 5 groomsmen. That it's imbalanced. So if he only got 5, I could only have 5. So that means a lot of people is gonna feel some type of way. So at this point, I might not have a bridal party at all. Like at this point, like, and then even when it comes down to family, y'all know how I feel about we've spoken, y'all. We understand each other.
All right.
Like
I want to know this.
What?
You've often spoken about people being engaged for a year, being in relationships for a year. Like, where is this going?
Mm-hmm.
Now you're engaged. Mm-hmm. How long does engaged last?
For me?
Period. Like, how long is too long? I saw Trav sent me this TikTok. I'm not gonna play it, but it was big. You good? Is it COVID?
Toro got you. That's crazy.
Yo.
It's COVID?
Crazy.
Trav sent me a TikTok of a woman that opened up some type of letter.
Oh,
note,
her vows, and she
Something
had the
like-
dust in it.
Yeah.
My
10,
nigga
15?
said 15 years. She said,
and the
bitch.
dust flew
That was so funny to me.
because she had wrote them for so long. It was 15
Yeah,
years.
that
or
was
some
the
shit.
joke.
was
Yeah,
mad
they were
long,
together
yeah.
for 15 years and finally got married.
What's too long to be in a relationship versus too long to be engaged? What's too long?
I can't speak for anybody on that one. Like, I don't know. I have a goal before I get married. My goal is I want to buy my house first and then get married. So if it takes me 2 years to buy my house and then it takes me 2 years to get married after that, officially have the celebration.
So you can be engaged for 4 years?
I can be engaged forever long I want to be engaged.
Because there's no clock that says you have to get married a year after engagement. Because a lot of times people get engaged and then they start saving even more. Because the ring has to be baller, and then you have to save for the wedding. I didn't realize how expensive weddings were.
Weddings are
until I
crazy
was in
expensive.
the wedding.
You said that you wasn't even doing all that before. Now you're doing it?
I don't know what I want to do, but I know I want to I want my house
You
before I
said you're
get
not
married.
waiting all that. You're not spending all that money on this
What's-
one day for everybody else to eat,
Yeah,
and
that's
everybody
why I
else
said
to
I
drink,
don't like
and all
feeding
this.
niggas.
Nigga, we gonna go to the courthouse, and that's gonna be that. That's what you said.
I said originally I said I wanted to go to the courthouse and then I wanted to have a big ass party. And then we all have to be formally a black tie affair party, which is something that I still feel
That's
like
kinda
I
fire.
want to
That is
do.
kinda
Save that bread and pay for the house.
And this is what I'm saying,
That's
because
fire.
I can't see me spending $20,000-$30,000 on a wedding when that's a down payment
and we can
on
have
a
some
house.
intimate fucking wedding that is just
And then for my
You can also ask
for
for
my
the-
reception, I don't want my family there. They fucking buzzkills. I don't want the kids there. I want me and my niggas. And I just want to say, shout out to my friends, because literally this was the reaction when I told my friends, "Oh my God, congratulations. I'm so happy for you and Drew." The immediate next message from everybody: "This about to be the funniest wedding I'm ever gonna be at." Do you can you guys imagine? Please imagine.
I'm just thinking about the different.
Mouse.
First of all, me and are gonna fight.
You not gonna
Damn.
hello. Don't. Please.
Me and Kinky
Please.
gonna fight.
Please. Please.
Me and
Please.
Ivory gonna fight.
Please. Please.
Wait, why did you?
He's a problem.
Why'd you even start with that energy?
Because he's a problem. What is your problem? Nobody's fighting at my wedding.
Even though
but
he's-
just think about it.
he's been throwing
Hosted
mad
by
subs,
Think
but
about
it's
it.
okay.
Hosted by Mouse Jones. Right?
It's gonna be nuts.
Hosted by Mouse Jones. It's
gonna be
We
nuts.
have Gregory. We have Will.
Oh my God, Greg.
That's my
Will?
brother. We have Greg. We have Will. We have Seth. We have. Come on, son. Do you have any idea what type Thule, the debauchery that's about to happen? Niggas is talking
I
about
can't
planning
miss
their
this.
speeches already. I say, yo, this is about to be a wedding roast. We might have to pull out the cameras. It's about to be a podcast in this bitch.
Nah,
Shit
I
gonna be
can't
fucking
miss
nuts.
this.
That shit is going to
It's gonna
be
be fucking
a
nuts.
Comedy Central. It's going to be crazy. The speeches, you know how long these niggas finna talk?
Nah, it has
Can
to
you
be,
imagine?
It has to be a wedding roast.
It's gonna be
right.
one
It has to be.
regardless.
All right.
The Patreon people say they gonna be there.
I said I'm gonna have the Zoom set up for the people
All
that.
right.
What's up?
Skip.
How you doing?
Do you have a time period of when this is over?
So when you saying
This
somebody-
part of your life, like, is there a time when you was like, by this time I need to be serious in a relationship, married, house? Like, do men think like that?
So when I was growing up, and to answer your question, I did have a time when I was growing up because I'm a junior. So like there was a time that I really idolized my dad. I grew up with my dad like my entire life.
That's fine.
We beefing though. So
Now?
there was a time, yeah, we've been beefing for like a couple of years.
Wow, that's a whole different story.
It fucking sucks. We'll talk about that later.
I'd love to.
But when I was growing up, he had me at 26, so I figured out his age because of like the math. If he got me at 26, I would always reverse engineer. Like I know how old he is based off of when he had me. So I wanted to have first kid by 26, second kid by 20. I really want to be just like my dad. Like how he was in the neighborhood. Like we would have like kids come over. They would have like you had to have good grades. Then you can play video games with us. He would help you with that stuff. He was like in that Flatbush area, like people would chill with him. He was like mad cool. Like all the women was like, yo, your dad's mad handsome. He's mad smart and stuff like that. So for me, I thought my life was going to be way further than it is right now. Right. But then actually being an adult and understanding like, yo, adults made things look way easier than it was. Like even when like understanding like, yo, we were really poor and I never knew we were poor until I got older to college. And I was like, yo, man, you really made it work with like, we were like low class, like poverty. Like my dad, to understand, my dad had a car accident when I was a baby. I think when I was 6 months old. He was coming out of cause he was like a scientist. He was coming out of the parking lot. The woman that hit him wasn't wearing her driving glasses. So she hit him from a blind spot, ruined like 4 or 5 parts of his spinal cord. So when you
sounds
see
like a
him,
Doctor Strange movie. I'm like,
Right.
yeah.
Doctor
So
Strange?
if you see him, you would never know that he's disabled, but he has a lot of internal pain. So it really makes him not volatile, but if someone's dealing with internal pains, they could be really irritable. So
it's like Doctor Octopus, not Doctor
so
Strange.
with
It's
the
Doctor Octopus.
so it's more Dr. Octopus with the 4 tentacles. Like for him, it's like for them not only the pain, but they're having conversations with him. So they have like a mind of their own. Like, yo, you would think he's crazy, but it's not his fault. It's literally an external thing.
This is your dad's Doctor Octopus.
Mine is being a villain, but but he is smart enough to do that. So it's like that's the type of thing where then I got to 26 and I was like, yeah, I can't do it. Because he, like,
26
even
is
understanding who my dad was, he was a very headstrong person. He's a Leo for people that believe in the zodiac.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so he's super headstrong. So if he believes something, he's not
They
backing
never
down.
forgive nobody,
Yeah,
so
they won't. So it's.
This shit is ridiculous.
But yeah, I think now it's like.
Does he post pictures of lions and shit on the?
Nah, he's not that crazy. He doesn't care about social media. He doesn't care about social media like that. So that's it. I thought my life was gonna be way different. Appreciate you, my dog. And I think now it was just like, man, at 32, I'm 6 years behind of where I thought I was gonna be. But
Social media. Social media. This generation.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
You're
it's
6
different.
years behind. I'm 18. No.
Social media slowed down all of any of this internet and all that. The fact that the world has gotten so much bigger for everybody, it slowed down all of these processes. So
Yeah, it also
you gotta
messed me
think
up.
about inflation.
yeah, it really messed me up because it's like the amount of women that are not only in my city but everywhere else that I had. Like Tumblr really
It's
fucked up my
social
whole
inflation.
shit. Tumblr in 2008 that fucked my whole shit. I was like talking to girls from the city and then it's like Cleveland, L.A.,
Yeah.
Austin. Like you get overwhelmed with options and
I
then
flew a chicken from Germany.
wow.
All right, good.
No, I had to sit with that.
It's perspective. It's
You know how
perspective.
Kevin Hart said "damn" and he was like, "We
Yeah.
talking about you." I said, "Wow," because I realized I can't do that right now. But honestly though, like when I'm thinking about it, like honestly, look, I look good. I make close to 6 figures. I have a lot of equity. I have a lot of stocks. My credit score is like 780, 790.
Yo, what's going on?
Like I'm just saying,
For the
like,
love of Skip.
No, but I'm
Niggas
just
on
saying,
Bumble?
like
This
I
ain't fucking
understand.
Tinder, nigga.
I'm not trying to get chose.
This nigga think that he's on fucking.
First
you
of
see
all,
that shit?
I found,
Nigga thinks this is first rounds on me.
Shameless, so by all means.
Yeah, you know, like get
Do
the
it.
thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I'm just saying, like, look, now I have to own into, like, look, I'm not lesser than nobody. I know my value. So if you don't appreciate it, I'm gonna go
What
to
just
where
happened?
I'm
What are
loved.
you talking about?
Huh?
He's talking about his. Leave Skip alone. Skip is a great catch.
Who you talking to somebody? Are you subbing somebody?
I'm not subbing nobody,
You subbing
bro.
a lot of people.
Well, if I'm subbing them, if they fit, man, if apply, shit, you too late now. But I'm just saying, like, look, again, what you're saying, like, my plan in the next 2-3 years, I should be some woman should be wearing a ring from me on her finger.
So you have a internal clock.
Right now.
You bitch ass nigga. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's crazy.
I'm sorry. I'm joking.
Shout out to
Members
shout out.
of the viewership. Remember 20, 30 minutes ago when I said that he
Bitch
called
ass
me a
nigga is
loser and he said
bitch
no
ass nigga is
to
not
probably
no better. That's
a
not true.
bitch ass nigga is the equivalent of a loser. Okay, and
Nah,
he said
not necessarily.
yes, it is. A bitch ass nigga is a
Not
loser.
necessarily.
Trying to shoot their shot.
Right?
Huh?
Rachel, chill out. Rachel.
Oh my God. What is
What happened?
Melly, can you please? I need a lot of bleeps this week, please.
What
I
happened?
need the bleep, 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 bloop. Like,
But yeah, I'm about to
If
be
you
more
want to
mature.
join the live Zoom and you can see these people throwing panties at Skip, you have to join the Patreon. It's www.patreon.com/So Shameless Podcast.
I'm 6'2",
get-
I weigh 210.
Yo,
come on, Skip.
are you serious?
Come on,
You like to
Skip.
fish? Like, what else you want to say, nigga?
She asked me a question.
Yo, can we?
I'm a
What's
Cancer.
your sign?
Ah,
I'm a Cancer.
It's been a long week from that. So that started the weekend. First we had
I love you too, dog.
Kinks and Drinks. Then
Yeah,
we
I-
have a engagement.
Love.
I was exhausted.
Hey, you be working 4 jobs.
Millie and I were working overtime, and I get up for work, I believe, Tuesday morning.
Tuesday.
And there are rumblings of something on the opposite spectrum of emotion: sadness, fear, just like shock.
Damn, it was Tuesday. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And the world is wondering if what is being said is true. Now, I don't. Is this all right segue? Because
Yeah.
I'm trying to go through the week.
Yeah.
This week was heavy.
Nah,
this was a
nah,
lot.
nah.
Yo, this week
So,
was
this week was crazy.
insanity. Like,
Right?
This felt brutally long, bro.
And it's so funny that Kanye's been he's been there the whole time, but he doesn't. It didn't matter this week.
No.
Nah.
He got lessened. His voice, the shock value got lessened because there was so much other things going on. I personally would like to say that, for one, the Migos are temporary. They're like cousin OVO members. They've been on the
Since
tour
Versace.
with us.
Yeah.
With us.
With us.
Just
Come
continue.
on,
We
Tahoe,
know what you're
yo.
talking about. You over
Right?
your time.
I actually do the Migos dance when they. Melly, just stop it.
She was actually clearing her throat. Well, damn.
That's crazy.
I do the Migos dance that they do when they perform because I've been to so many concerts. I paid for them, but still, right? And Takeoff, he apparently was murdered. Well, he's not apparently. He was murdered in a situation in Houston. I called out. I called out. Well, it's because of my kids and all that, but I called out. I couldn't take it. It was like, yo, like, what the fuck? Anybody have any thoughts on that?
We gotta do better, man. Like, I don't wanna. This is in lieu of my own happiness. This is gonna be a very
Hold on.
heavy
Fuck, Melly. Up the gains.
up the game.
Shit.
What that mean?
Okay. We're back. We had a moment. So yeah, we were talking about Takeoff, untimely passing. And I didn't really get to it really, but the fact that he had nothing to do with anything, the fact that he wasn't even paying attention, the fact that it was apparently somebody on his allegedly, whatever, somebody on his side that just made a horrible mistake. The fact that he's like the Trom, of the group. Like
Just
I've
be
always
chilling, minding
just
his
be
business.
chilling, never got beef with nobody, never in no mess, like nothing. Like you never even seen no chicks talking about I was fucking with Takeoff. Like you don't see nothing. Like he's just a chill ass nigga. The fact that that happened, and not that it'd have been okay if it was Quave or off, but just the fact that that innocence, well, perceived innocence, that perceived chill, cool character guy that get caught up in some shit like that really hurt to hear about. But go ahead, Dodge.
I just feel like we have to do better as a community, and the amount of men that we're gonna speak about on this episode today, it's gonna be like, in lieu of my own happiness, is gonna be a real, there's something really wrong with you niggas type of commentary coming from me today, because I feel like most of the things that we're gonna discuss today are so rooted in lack of emotional intelligence and ego. And I really want my brothers, y'all gotta get a hold of this shit. Like, y'all get into meaningless arguments about things that are not even significant, and the knee-jerk reaction is to start shooting in a mall full of people. Like, there's no discernment. There's no sense of what could possibly happen. I feel like we speak all the time on this show about the fact that as women, sometimes, like, we're constantly thinking about all of the things that could possibly happen, even sometimes to our own detriment. But at least we're thinking.
There's a reason for that, though.
Like, but at least we're thinking. Like, at least our brains are like, at least, like, being the fact that we are the most emotional, allegedly.
I wouldn't say that. You wouldn't say that.
I said allegedly. Being that we're the most emotional, allegedly, like, why is it that when a man's ego is involved, violence ensues immediately after?
Because, for one, you don't know what can happen. That's for one. With
But
the
why
other
is
people that
that
you're beefing with, you don't see with black men.
Yeah, I'm happy you said it and I didn't have to,
Well,
because
there's a difference, because we are from this community. People from a lower class community, the only thing they have is their life. That's all they have.
So why is it so expendable? Why do we treat life like it's a fucking penny on the floor? There's
Because
so
I
many
have nothing
people.
else.
But if you have nothing else, and you know that that's all you have, that's what you should value more. And that's the part that will never make sense to me. If this is all I have, this is the most valuable thing to me. So this is the thing that I should be protecting. Niggas are not
That's
protecting.
exactly
That's
what they're
not
doing.
what's happening.
No.
That's for me,
exactly
that's
why you
it's
go
the
straight for your
exact
gun.
Opposite.
You have nothing else to lose.
No.
So you're not
You guys
going to
are
allow
saying-
nobody to
so
take
y'all
this
on
from you.
Two opposite sides of the conversation. So you're thinking from a place of enlightenment, right? And he's thinking from like the place of, if you got absolutely nothing, you're not thinking about nobody else except yourself. So it's like, if you know, like that Maslow hierarchy of the pyramid,
Yes.
like when you get to the top, it's like self-actualization. You're
Yes.
just mad calm and just fulfillment and calmness in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you're at the bottom and you're just thinking of like, I gotta protect me first at all times, you're not thinking about nobody else. Like, also, wait, I agree with you when it comes to like the ego and the lack of emotional intelligence, but being able to observe the situation, like, do I have to react this way? So you're thinking this way. If like, let's say we talk about going to therapy, there's sometimes the old me, I'd be black and I try to like go up to like 10, and then like me now is like, if I count to like 5, take a deep breath, this is not even that serious. But that's just because I already have those techniques to be like,
And
I don't
this is
really
what we
care about
need.
that.
You have things to lose. At some point, when you
all the
build
niggas has something to lose.
no, you don't. At some point, you don't. If you don't have your own crib, you ain't getting no money. You don't got no business deals. You ain't got no kids. You ain't like, and even if you have kids, are you an active father? Like, if you don't have these things, when you get into certain confrontations, you be like, you know what? You ain't worth where I would take it. But if you don't have none of those things to give you that feeling, then you take it there because you're not going to let a motherfucker take all you have. which is just respect. That's all you have.
But that's not. But that's not even something that is
Quantifiable.
Yeah.
When you have nothing else, it's all you have.
I think we're constantly
I'm not.
pacifying.
And you know what? I'm not. No, it's not pacifying. For me,
I
it's
think
not.
it is.
For
I
me,
think that
it's
is.
knowing.
This is an ignorant conversation to have. I feel like, and I don't want to do this.
Do you think that a nigga that's walking around with a pistol is not ignorant?
I do, and what I'm saying is, this is what I really believe.
Out, in the mall, pistol out. In the car, pistol out. For
what
no
I'm
reason.
saying is, and I really don't feel like doing this right now. But you niggas gotta get y'all fucking shit together. Like y'all gotta get a hold on this thing called life, because y'all's reactions and behaviors are literally to the detriment of our entire culture.
I agree. You wanna know what I think though? I agree. I think that I hate, and I was saying this, and this is a completely different conversation, but so don't chase this conversation, okay. Right? But I hate when people are born into situations that they can't never get out of because of their parents, because of their community.
I hate that thought process.
It's people. Who was it? I was looking at, and I was like, this person's parents is so fucked up. They're being programmed to be fucked up too. They're being programmed to be like the worst part of society. How is he going to come away from this? This little kid, how is he going to get away from this shit?
So here's my counterpoint.
Is what I was thinking when I was watching that.
I think the counterpoint is that is like nature versus nurture, right? Mm-hmm. So that's technically nurture creating you in this type of journey. But there's other people along the way that can be either positive or negative kind of like influences, right? So again, I grew up extremely poor. My dad didn't want me. If I wanted to, I could probably got a job, or I could have hustled. I could have been on the streets. My dad absolutely said, nah. Like, I could have been in a different life depending on that person.
Your name
also,
is Howard.
So?
There's no way you was going to be in a different life.
I know a gangster old student of mine with the same name. That shit ain't stopped that nigga from being who the fuck he is. They
call him Hal, huh?
No. They actually call him Junior. JR, because he's a junior.
See, and I really don't like Junior because that's a very common name. But I'm just saying we all have choices. But I want to be really mindful in saying that, because sometimes based off of people's parameters of what they think they have as options around them, you're going to only make choices by the options around you. And it's like a really Chris Rockian thing that he says. Like, you can tell how a man's going to be if you throw him in if he goes from like having this amount of options to women, or these amount of options to women, or this amount of options for cars and these amount of options. Are you still the same person, or do you get overwhelmed with these choices? So there are some people that started off being crappy people and they became magnificent people, but once they had like that light bulb moment, it's like, I don't want to be this anymore.
Like 50 Cent? Because now you're looking at a person that was born into that thing and he was blessed, but the mentality is still there. At multi-million, the mentality is still there.
Okay,
50 Cent is I have a soft place in my heart for him. He's not the best person, but I very rarely see him start with people. I see, but the thing is, 50 is the type of nigga that if you poke him, he's gonna punch you in the face.
My thing is this: when you come from a place that is just nothing but that, it's hard to see yourself someplace else.
It is,
especially when the environment is conducive to that type of behavior. That's all you have. There is no light. How do you even go chase the light?
But and my only pushback to this, because yes, it is true. And it is true in so many situations and in so many scenarios. But I feel like black women and black men, we grow up in the same hoods. We're in the same classes.
Nah,
we have the same environment.
It's not the same.
But somehow,
it's not the same.
So many black women done got in their minds, I hate it here.
Because y'all
I'm gonna
are protected.
work my way to get out. I'm gonna do it the long way.
Niggas be ready to kill other niggas outside, and the girls that they chilling with just have to kind of move to the side. They're protected in a certain way. Even having beef with another girl ain't like guns, knives, and like.
But it wasn't always like this. The reason why it's so many guns and knives is because this generation of niggas is pussy. These niggas can't fight to save their fucking life. You could tell these niggas never got punched in the face. So any minute that they're in any type of imminent danger, instead of throwing their hands like niggas used to do back in the day, the first thing they do is pull out a gun, and they don't understand that death is so fucking finite, and what not only what you're doing to yourself, your future, your family, but somebody else's person, future, family, kids. Like, the thought process never penetrates y'all stupid ass minds. And I'm trying to understand and be empathetic and have love for my people. But then there's the other side of me, like I said last week, that I don't want to be a part of you niggas no more, because it's all excuses at this point. At what point are we gonna do better? We understand the socio-economical problems. We understand all of the shit that happened. We can take it to slavery. We can go to Jim Crow. We can go to racism. We can go to lack of education, underfunded in schools. We can talk about all of this shit till we blue in the face. But where is your humanity? Humanity is not something that is taught to you.
You just said it. It's wrapped in all of those things that you don't have.
And
you just gave mad different examples of the reasons why your humanity, the reason why you should respect life, is not at the same tier as other people who have all of those things.
No, because I'm not. Because if I'm still only talking about the black community as black boys and girls that's growing up in these same situations, why is it such a vast difference?
Because women are taught to be human and men are taught to be fucking
by who?
killers.
Apparently, these kids ain't being taught shit by nobody. So who's teaching them to not be human?
The women don't have that same expectation of violence.
What is the who expects? Who are these niggas?
I
feel like a lot of the things in a lot of men's heads is made the fuck up.
Yeah, okay.
Babe,
All right, so I was waiting for
babe,
you.
Go ahead.
my dad is calling. I'll call her back, daddy. Bye bye. Cause what the fuck was that?
All right, so what I was gonna say
My father
is,
don't respect me.
you guys are always on the different sides.
Who,
When it
me
comes
and
to
her?
emotional intelligence, which gender is basically taught to be in tune with their emotions from when they're younger? Women. Because every time a man cries or he expresses vulnerability, I remember I used to be a crybaby. People try to make be detached, shut it off, don't feel it. And the worst thing you can do is tell a person to not feel their feelings. You have to feel your feelings fully.
If you feel I just told you that the other day, right?
Yeah, but I don't agree with it.
No,
That's okay.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like,
no, I know,
yeah,
but
that's how we.
But if it was like, oh, me, if I took it personal, that could have been a situation, and you don't really mean that. And if you do, it's okay, it's jokes, whatever. No, but I'm at a point where it's like, men are not allowed to feel their feelings because people told them around crime makes you weak, doing this makes you weak, this makes you weak. So this is not to counteract what you're saying, but the influence is like, yo, if you get hurt, you can't feel anything. If you're on the court and you hurt your ankle, that's nothing.
I don't care about your life.
Keep playing. Keep
I'm
playing.
not-
It's not that serious.
Right.
You got this. Like, push through the pain. What's pain? You're a man. You're not supposed to feel. So I think you are not allowed to connect with yourself. You're not allowed to tap in with yourself on an emotional plane, which really leaks into everything else in life.
If you
No.
do, it makes you soft.
Wait,
and people
whoa.
take advantage of that.
I'm not. Whoa.
The community takes
It's not an
advantage
excuse.
of that.
It's
though.
an excuse,
It's-
and I'm gonna tell
it's a
you
clarification.
why. It's an excuse, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
Because historically, all of the things that you're saying has been true, and you can take it back to slavery times. But niggas was not out shooting people because of minor disagreements. I'm not talking about the male ego in that sense, right? I understand that y'all have an ego. I get that. I understand that when you guys feel threatened or you feel some type of way, you feel like you gotta fight your way out of it. My problem is niggas are not fighting anymore. Like, you're not even giving your fellow man a fighting chance. It's straight bullets. There's barely even a discourse before niggas is pulling out hammers. And that's when there is a difference. Something has changed. It was not always like this.
Nah,
so y'all not gonna sit here and make it seem like it has been. If niggas was fighting every day on the internet, fine. Niggas fight. Girls still fighting each other. Fine.
It's self-respect.
What do you mean?
I don't value myself.
What happened?
So
and what
how
I'm
can I
saying
value
is,
you?
what happened.
You don't see yourself until you hit the streets. In the house, you have an example of a male figure, respect. You see yourself. You have somebody to
That's
pattern
not
yourself after.
true.
You don't think that having a father changes the way a boy looks at
fathers
himself?
have started leaving the household since the 70s.
And that's when this started.
It was not this bad.
With the 80s?
The 80s,
The
and then
80s
it
was when-
reverted.
When? It started from the 80s and went all the way through.
When I was growing up, in my 20s and in my teens, niggas was not getting shot every fucking day.
Girl, baby.
Niggas was
Baby.
fighting.
Baby.
Niggas was jumping each other. Niggas was whooping each other's asses. You
think-
might have got stabbed. You might have caught a $150, but you telling me niggas outside is just out here shooting niggas like the way they
So
shooting
you're
niggas
saying-
now?
When was this? So you're telling me the
I'm
90s
talking
wasn't
about
because in the 90s...
I'm talking about the 90s and the early 2000s.
The 90s, the
90s and
killings
the early
in New York
2000s.
City almost peaked 2,000 killings in New York City a year. Last year, it was 488 killings in New York City. So yeah, the 90s was crazy.
I don't think she's only talking about New York City though. I
I'm
think
definitely not.
She's
Oh,
only
right,
talking
but
about-
we don't know
No,
the
I'm not yelling.
experiences other places. We can only talk about that. And I'm
True,
just saying, like,
true,
yo, I
true,
was
true,
here in
true.
the 90s. Motherfuckers it was going down crazy. It was crazy. That was before fucking Giuliani.
Yeah, Giuliani. Yeah.
That was before
Giuliani wowed this
Giuliani.
shit up.
This is when the police, because they had to. We're talking about the Dinkins era. So, but this is just my experience. I was there, and so I'm saying yes, the killings was there,
But
and this
as-
started happening from the 70s on, which fathers left the house. So now these boys are trying to figure out who they are outside, and the only measure of being a man is given by the dudes you're around who also don't have dads, who are also trying to prove shit to the person that they're next to,
So what
and
do we
so
do?
on and so forth into today,
It's not really
when
you
the
thing to do.
value of life amongst black men has plummeted through the floor, because now you're 2 generations going now. My dad left, your dad left, my granddad ain't around. It's nobody.
It's so disheartening, and I just really feel like as a black woman in America, we have so much shit going on, son. We have so much shit that we have to fight through every single day, and I am so utterly disgusted and disappointed with my own people. And I cannot continue I can't. I don't support y'all niggas. Like I don't fuck with y'all niggas.
Here's my
like,
Here's my counterpoint, right?
To what?
To what she's saying, because I agree with what you're saying. Because to me, it stems from basically the crack era and how it basically displaced the family. And it's not excuses, it's clarification. Because once the family structure was kind of like fractured, you don't have stability. You have either one-parent homes of either gender, predominantly it's going to be on the woman. You don't have the structure of like tribes, communities staying together and looking after each other's next generation. You have a lot of like people trying to figure out themselves. You have a lot of people trying to get out and get it. This goes back to what Tahoe was talking about, where it's like when I look at someone in my own community, not as like an ally, but as an opportunity, like our respect levels from like the 60s, 70s has gone down because we don't look at each other like colleagues no more. We look at each other as like, you're an opportunity for me to come up.
Yeah.
Instead of what we could have been like, yo, we can like either cut grass together, or like when it's snowing, we can all just come together like, yo, let's huddle up. And nobody thinks collectively no more. Everyone thinks individualistic because of like certain things of like how we're using each other as money.
I'm gonna tell you right
opportunities.
now, in the 90s, niggas was going on fucking robbing sprees, right? When we would go to the city, we would go to check cashing places. So one of us would go in the check cashing place, stand in line, act like we're gonna cash a check. The nigga, we watch who gets enough money, who gets a good bag of money. You follow them out off the line. Once they leave with the money, you signal to somebody else where the money's at, right? The niggas across the street, there was no cameras back then. That nigga goes and robs the nigga and takes off. But guess what you're doing? You're running behind the nigga that has the money because he might take from the money or say, yo, I didn't get it. And now he done robbed you too. So opposition, opportunity is in the same fucking thing when it even comes to friendship. But yo,
Because there's no trust. Like also
No
like
trust.
when you
There's
break
no
down
trust
when you
amongst
break down the
thieves.
trust in the community, it's like you like before when we actually had like those healthy communities, trust is the most important thing in any type of relationship, whether it's romantic, platonic, family, like community. Like we have an unwritten like trust of like, hey, if I'm living next to someone, I'm expecting them not to be an indecent person.
I will say this. I love you, bro. Thank you. Your perspective, and thank you for holding me down. Nobody ever does that for me here.
That's crazy.
It's the loser, guys.
Y'all niggas is bugged out.
We can give excuses. So Dodge is like, all right, excuses.
I'm just giving clarification.
Right?
She's right though. We have to be stronger examples.
But how they not listen? Don't see this. This is my problem because if I think about solutions, right? I always talk about solution-based convos. Those niggas that's living like that is not calling their dad like, hey. They're not calling their moms like, hey, right? They didn't grow from that. They came from a whole different type of.
Agree.
So how do you get to them? It's little niggas out here that's not trying to hear nothing I'm talking about. I remember, I'm going to keep it 1,000. To Dodge's point, there's some young ladies that live around me that come from the same pit that these niggas come from. One day I'm on the corner, these bitches got like guns in their hand and they like, yo, where that bitch went? And they like looking down the block, they like, that's her or whatever. They talking like, yo, you go on the street. I'm like, yo, what the fuck is y'all doing? They, yo, Tahoe, go in the crib. 3 girls. I said, all right. I packed my shit up and I went in the crib because there's nothing for, they live out, this is what they do. One got $150 across her eye. Yo, I'm dead. Melly, this shit ain't funny.
Nah,
I'm gonna have to answer.
era was
I might
crazy.
have to answer this when I go to the corner store. I might have to answer this. Yo, you talk about this on your podcast. Like, yo, this is the life that they live. There's no way for me to convince them not to live this life. So this is why when I was like, yo, chill. Child, go in the fuck in the crib. All right, yo, chill. Damn.
Yeah, but that's not. But okay, to answer that, I feel like a lot of times when it comes to people to be that nexus point, and this is me using something from like WandaVision and Loki, like that, you don't have to be that nexus event to change their lives. I've met a lot of people that were like, I didn't have the best relationship with mom growing up, that were like pseudo mom figures in either school or like other programs or whatever. I met people that were like uncle figures, and it doesn't have to be up my block. But it doesn't, you already have kids. You already have people that look at you. I look at you like my OG. You've influenced me. Just because you can influence them doesn't mean I'm not paying attention to your actions.
But
you can't put everything.
Different upbringings.
No, but my thing is, we can't look at it like, I can't look at it like I'm responsible for trying to change everyone. I got to be like, whoever is receptive to my energy, I try to influence them in the most positive way possible. Because you can see that, but you're not the person meant to change their life. So they haven't met that person yet.
Those people that I'm talking about are not you, Howard. They're not me, Sakai. They're people like always had a lifeline. They never had that. That's what I was telling with Dodge. There are people that act away because of their surroundings. That was me. I was acting away because of my surroundings. When my shit got better, I was no longer connected to that. I was like, no, I'm never going to do that again because I got, I'm back to being a human being. I see myself how my mom see me. Like how I was treated when I was young. I see myself as that now. So now I'm never going to be. They always will see themselves the way they grew up. They don't have that. How do you get to them? How do you get to them? The person I was talking about with Dodger, I was like, he don't have a fighting chance. This nigga's wearing diapers at 7 years old. It's done. How do you get to him?
I mean, I feel like a Coach Carter type influence, like any of those individuals.
Niggas gotta go to school first. They have to value something first. They don't have.
So that's my question. How do we get to them? Because those are the niggas that's doing these things. Them niggas they don't care about none of this shit.
Because I mean, I don't know.
It's
hard. But it's like, we don't have an answer because I can't give you a set answer
Melly
to like
has something
every
to say. Melly has the
question.
answers.
My bad, Melly.
The answer is that this world's going to be the way it is forever. Like, there's no, like Skip was saying, like, you can change a few lives, but you can't change everybody's lives. So there's always going to be a group of people that are not going to care. No matter what you do, no matter what you say to them, like, nothing's going to change. Like, we don't live in the world where it will be perfect eventually. We can come up with all these solutions. It can help some people. It won't help some people. Some people are still going to kill. And especially 'cause I know they were talking about in the Discord that social media is one of the number one things that's different in this generation. Because back then we didn't have social media, and like Tahoe was saying, like there's always been killings. Like these things always have been happening. Now that we have social media, like it kind of
puts a light on it.
Yeah, like everything is bigger now. Like you have because I'm thinking about like back then you had we didn't have social media, so you had people that were still doing drugs, that were still killing, stealing, doing all these things, and we really didn't hear about it. And now that I feel like that generation, like once they had kids, like they had like two parents, in a home, or one parent or whatever. But eventually when they start having kids, like they're out in the streets, they have kids, so they don't have like a strong
foundation support
or anything like that. So it starts to like populate.
Yeah, and then we had the music that was teaching them how to be.
It's like
and
a
we had
virus
the movies that was showing them how to be.
And you know what's
we was
gonna
glorifying
happen?
the shit like, oh, we just telling our stories, but the kids is writing that shit down.
Crazy. This is what's gonna happen, and not like this is something that I'm wishing, but this is something that I can foresee. If we don't regulate ourselves, they are gonna regulate us.
They've been doing that.
But it's going to get worse. And that's what, there are consequences to this type of disastrous behavior. I was on Twitter the other day, and there was a video of like young teen boys in Chicago, I think. They were like in a gym, like at a basketball game.
And like all of them had guns.
All them niggas was
That's an
gripped
old video.
up. And
Big
it wasn't
guns.
even like,
Big
these
joints.
not 9s and 45s
these
and
niggas had
revolver
ARs.
38s. These niggas had big, like a duffel bag. Like it's guns, and they showing, and
And
I'm
they out
just
with 'em.
like, who's your mama?
Yo, Skip.
Who is your mama?
These niggas had machine guns in a school gym, passing them shits around out the duffel bag. Niggas had them shits down their legs, backing out the big boys. Like, whoa, nigga.
I am just so confused, and
So how you get to the?
I'm telling you, for me, I'm at that point. I'm at the pivotal point that I don't want to be around niggas.
That's valid.
Keep me and my family away from niggas. Y'all niggas could do what y'all want to do. Y'all want to shoot, fight, stab, kill, whatever.
Okay.
Keep me away from y'all. I need to know the demographic in my next neighborhood, because I'm not going to be around a bunch of niggas. And I'm not talking about black people, because we've made that distinction on this show.
Uh-huh.
Them niggas.
Oh, I've been away. Ben didn't want to be around niggas. Ben,
Nah.
And it makes me feel bad, because in my brain,
not me.
there is a whole section of people that look like me that I'm really on some. I don't know
Once
them
niggas
niggas. I'm
have
not
something.
affiliated with them niggas. Fuck them niggas.
Skip.
Let them niggas destroy each other.
Skip, once niggas have something to lose, they don't really want to be around niggas either.
Nah.
But that's not wrong. But what my thing is, okay, so
It
we
is.
talked about the drug influence, right? We didn't talk about how education and a lot of other programs that are supposed to keep kids from not being on the street
Child.
don't exist anymore. Do we understand like the budget cuts that happen? Because look, again, random fun fact, I wanted to be the first black president, so I used to study a lot of this stuff. I don't want to be president anymore. It's stupid. Because when you understand the type of deals you got to make,
Yeah.
when it comes to look,
Yeah.
we're
No,
spending
you're right.
so much money on military strength just for like our political influences in other places. If we spend at least 10 or 15% more from like that budget into all of our schools, we'd be way more smarter, right? We'd be not way more smarter. We'd be more educated. Let me
The
actually
literacy rate in America is
it's
stops
so
at
low.
4th grade.
And it's like we
Y'all
had to
niggas
think.
can't read, I tell y'all this
The
every
reason
day.
why they backing out all these things is because look, they're not investing into the arts. They're not investing into music. They're not investing into like the sports teams. You know how many times these kids have to be selling like candy just to pay for their basketball because they don't have a support, because they don't spend money on it. Whereas those white kids in those more affluent neighborhoods don't even have to think about it. Their uniforms are paid for. Their transportation and games are paid for. We're always having to hustle 3 times harder just to get to like the bare minimum. So if you have a system and where you live where you have no choice but to be hungry in the street, in school, all the time you always having to be in fight or flight or freeze mentality, you're always going to have that chip on your shoulder. And unless we get to the point of, one, invest in our schools, invest in the programs so they don't have to be in the streets. I remember after school I went to I think Boys and Girls Club, like before when they had those.
They
And
still
I would,
have 'em.
yeah, but they're
A
fewer
bunch
now.
of my students
There's
go to
still
Boys and
fewer there.
Girls
And I would do my homework. I would have people
Yep.
like me. I would like talk about cartoons and stuff instead of being on the street, not doing my homework, not having adults to like, hey, this is how you do this. Like my dad, no matter how like poor we were, I never knew it. It's just we made it work. But that's not everyone's mindset because like you said, not everyone has good parents. But if they're in a place like Boys and Girls Club where they see a kid like a Dodge Tower Skid where it's like, I like this kid. I want to make sure this kid's good. We don't actually have those moments where other adults can like give you
know
guidance
what happens,
and stuff like
and
that.
I hate to say all of this.
What are you about to say, Melly?
No, I was gonna say that
Thanks, Skip.
sometimes you just not every child is going to be good. Like you can have a boys and girls club, and there could be a few boys that come and like fight the people that are there. Or
Yeah, but there's a
bring the
reason why though.
guns.
And this is like when you
Yeah.
study the psychology. Here's my
Yeah.
thing. Nobody's born evil. Nobody's born evil. The reason
And
why
most
they're
of-
evil,
and
and,
most-
the only people that are evil is because that those few people that are true, so that genetically the code came from other people
Yeah.
that were like that, and
So
those
they
are the
were
few.
born evil.
Huh?
Yeah.
No, but okay, just because you have
Some kids is some.
no, okay.
They're not born evil.
Some people might have the genetic makeup to be evil, but based off of where they were
I
born,
think Tax was a good nigga, good baby.
No. But
that's fucked up. I just realized what you just said.
no. Oh, speaking of the drunk message that I sent him with all the misspellings, it was fucking crazy.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I just want to hold
Free
that
my
point.
nigga, man.
No, and I think just with that, like this is why I took a lot of psychology because it was time I wanted to be a therapist. But then I realized how much it costs to be a therapist. I'd be like, I'm Gucci because the amount of loans, and I'm seeing my homies that have 6-figure loans.
Yeah.
And by the time like 10, 15 years, and they still have 6-figure loans. I was like, bro, I don't owe any of my schools anything. So I was like, here's the thing: a lot of people get discouraged, and I know when someone does me wrong, it's not really me. It's them fighting themselves because of a situation that happened. Maybe their dad's locked up. Maybe something happened to their older brother or older sister. Maybe something's happening to them in their family. Like, yes, I can empathize, but I'm not going to be around for the abuse. But like you said, I understand, but because someone's not watching them at home. Sometimes all people really want is someone to like, actually listen to be like, yo, are you okay? Do you need help?
Yep.
Are you Gucci? And if they don't have those places to be where someone can ask you these questions, you're going to be on the street. And you know what's going to happen with the street? The street doesn't win.
Emotional intelligence won't even allow you to answer those questions, especially at a young age. You're
It
not
will if you
able.
talk to the
You're
right
not
person.
able. Yeah, but then you still gotta go back outside.
Yeah.
You still gotta go be around this community for one that birthed you and that kind of filled you with a certain level of expectation of behavior. So, and we've seen these things in movies, and I guess most
Yeah.
people who haven't lived like this have seen it. Like, yo, when I go to a Boys and Girls Club, guess what happens? I get jealous. I start seeing, oh, you think you better than me, or you got Jordans, or you getting a certain level of treatment, or your mom picks you up on time, or your hair is always done, or like, this shit is from when you were baby, nigga.
Remember,
this shit is programmed into you for things that don't even, and then they're turned into violence. They're turned into action. And it's literally, like you said, therapy, right? It is therapy. But you got to have a fighting chance somehow.
I've
with
been
this.
told y'all I think that there should be an application process and not everybody should have kids just because they can.
It should. I agree.
I've been
And
told
that's
you
all
that.
I'm saying, Dodge. That's what I was saying
And
earlier.
that's what I'm saying. Like, that's how bad shit is about
It's
to
bad.
get. It's about to be like, oh,
And that's what
you a
Melly's
black
saying.
girl in the hood and you about to have a baby. How many babies you have? And they gonna sterilize your stupid ass. And you
So-
not even gonna know. Why? Because you guys are breeding the worst of us.
But
and it's
also,
magnified.
It's also not just the breeding; it's the environment that you're putting this baby into. It's like when I want to go get I know y'all gonna laugh at me, but I want to go get a Maine Coon, a cat. It's a big cat. It's a huge cat.
Man said we're gonna laugh at him.
Right.
He's gonna have a
Excuse
big ass
me?
cat.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
That's your cat, nigga. We ain't never having no cat,
You're a Maine Coon, right? I wanted to get one big ass. It's a fucking fire ass cat,
nigga.
but they won't allow you to have it
If it's not in the right environment, you can't have
unless
that shit
it's
in an
right
apartment.
in the right environment. And so you got to come in, you got to do a questionnaire, you got to talk about your history, you got to talk
Yeah.
about your environment, you got to send them this and that. That's how a lot of these fucking families should be allowed to have babies, because what happens is you are not birthing, you are raising a killer.
Yes, a liability to
To
society.
society, because what resources do you have?
Yeah.
You know, what's your history? What's your family behavior?
I mean,
what's
I
your
agree with
genetic
you.
code?
But also, you mean which kind of stems into what I was.
Which
saying.
is a whole dangerous conversation, because
It's
racism
so dangerous.
will be
Yo,
will be
and this is what
regardless.
I'm saying. Like, if we don't get a hold of our own shit, they are gonna get a hold of our shit.
Okay, because I know we've been on this for a little bit. I do want to say,
What that shit look like? I ain't getting no Maine Coon in my house.
you even know how fire
Come
it
on,
is.
come on,
Look,
come on, come on, come
When
on,
it comes to like education, support, and like, yo, the better we build our tribes, that's why I'm so intentional with the people I call my close friends and stuff like that. Like, I have no problem being like godfather to these kids, or like being like fake uncle. I think that's the most important thing. Like, you have to have people that. I love New York City because I have a lot of people that I know would help with my kids and vice versa. And we have to have that real community vibe of, yo, who's picking up the kids today? Like, if you, I feel like a lot of times it's on two people. Especially when eventually we talked about marriage earlier, people
Takes
that
a
are in
village,
the
bro.
audience are supposed to get up and acknowledge this. They're supposed to be of service to the people in the relationship. If they're actually good people, like your family, your friends, you're supposed to be a tribe. And one of the ways to fix this, we have to get out of the individualistic, and we have to start building intentional community mindsets. Like, I'm looking at y'all like, your kids matter to me. My kids matter to you. If I can't pick up your kids, Tahoe shouldn't be stressed. It's like, yo, this person can pick up the kids, make sure they're at home, and it's like, yo, text Tahoe, I know you're at work, kids are at home, door locked, they got food, cool. Now, they used to do this in the 60s and 70s. Now, we don't do that no more. We got to build it back. Literally brick by brick, we got to build it back. So that's one of the ways we can start redoing it, because we're holding ourselves accountable, because we're trying to care, putting love back in the community. There's no love here no more. So it's not the solution, but it's a step in the right direction to get what we need to get moving, to get on our hood back again.
You brought up a few things that will lead us into our next conversation. Dodge gets like this when she drinks. She just zones out. She don't pay no attention to us.
I'm here.
Don't worry about it, Skip. Skip all looking in your phone and shit.
I mean, she was doing content, so I'm not mad at her.
I'm always busy.
You brought up influence.
Mm-hmm.
You brought up community.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we're at an hour and I would say 24, 25 minutes, something like that, with all the breaks that we took. So we're about to get into the second part of this episode. We still got a hell of a lot going on. But I do want to speak about the other things that happened this week. So I'm not even sure if we'll get to this week in these niggas, this week in these bitches, because this episode is about to get real. We're going to talk about Kyrie Irving. And then we will talk the boy. No, I'm just playing.
I'm not talking about that man no more.
So,
the boy. That's why
tune
I'm here.
in
I'm the
to
Drake
the
specialist.
second episode of So Shameless Podcast. We about to get in that ass.
Jesus Christ.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. That nigga be crystal, babe. Yeah. Hey. I'm shameless, so shameless. When my dogs on the block, it was dangerous. Take a girl out to eat and she's paying. I'm shameless, so shameless. I'ma go hit Tahoe up. Come bring the Tahoe truck, body bags on body bags. Come pick this garbage up. DJ mixing in the booth, he leave him traumatized up. I ain't got no time to waste. Let's get these commas up. I'm sitting in class, I can't even focus. Looking at cheese, hoping that she don't notice. Titty sit right, that ass be poking. I'm sitting in the front cause I gotta be the closest. I'm just waiting for the bell, let everybody leave. I passed with an A, but left her with a D. I'm shameless, so shameless. When my dogs shameless.